In this video, I'm going to show you my exact strategy to earn $20,000 per month as a life insurance agent from home and without recruiting or harassing my family members, aka warm market. You're a life insurance agent. I know having to call all of your family members, write down this list, and then having to harass them. Not only is it embarrassing, but it's deflating, and it puts you into this mindset of like, I didn't come into this insurance business to be able to do that. Right? I didn't come into this insurance business to have to recruit the world. I actually want to impact people. I want to write policies, and I want to meet new people. I want to, experience and have different conversations. And if you're like me, then give me 10 minutes of undivided attention, and this will 10x your commissions ASAP. So get a pen and paper handy because you can implement these tips right away. And I'm going to be sharing everything with you on this video here so you can break free from this rat race that you've been taught and learn a new way. And by the way, I'm an independent agent, okay? So I've never been associated with any major IMOs such as FFL, Primerica, PHP, or WFG, although I work with all of them and many agents there. So you'll find that a lot of the strategies that I talk about was simply because of the fact that I had to learn all of this on my own, and I wasn't taught by an IMO on how things should go. I had to figure it all out, and it worked for me really well to literally do 20,000 plus per month. Okay, so get your pen and paper out. And by the way, if at the end of this video you want to book a call to be able to talk a little bit more about your strategies and things of how to actually implement this, you'll be able to go to this sales page to be able to do that. All right, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about number one. I got licensed across the country right away. So let's talk about my background. I started off at TD Bank, and that's where I got licensed to sell life insurance. I worked around financial advisors and other series licensed individuals. And at the bank, when I got licensed, my goal was to see individuals who had $100,000 or more in their savings account and basically go, hey, if you're earning 0.01% interest on your money that's in the bank, if I can move this to an annuity or some sort of IUL and get you 5 to 6% a year with no downside, would you be interested? They say yes. I get them in for an appointment, and then I will close the deal for $100,000 transferred from savings over to the IUL. So that's where I started at TD. And then I eventually moved over to Wells Fargo, and I was doing the same thing. And then I left and became an independent agent. Some of you may already know me. You may or may not know me as the tax guy, right? I started a brand called Jumping Jack Tax. So people are surprised to find out that I'm actually an insurance agent. And I've been an agent since I was 18 years old, and I'm 28 today. So I've been in this industry for almost 10 years, writing business on or off, but more consistently over these past 3 years. So as soon as I went independent, I got licensed across the country because it just made sense to me. I wanted to create a global brand. I didn't want to be a local or a state brand where I'm knocking on doors in my local communities. No, how can I use the internet? How can I use the country to be able to offer my services? And that's what I did. So what I realized was number one, I didn't need to take multiple exams. So as soon as you take your my resident license is in Pennsylvania. As soon as you get your resident license, you can go to a website called sircon.com, SIRCON.com. You can apply for all your licenses across the country at one time. You don't ever need to take any additional licensing, okay? The only thing you need to do is your continuing education, but that's with your resident license, AKA mine is in PA. So I got to do my continuing education in PA, but I can get non-resident licenses across the rest of the country, no additional exams. But you do have to pay a state fee for every license. And that's the part that's challenging because the states are like, hey, you're going to pay us money to literally get you licensed without having to take any extra exam, which is, to me pretty dumb, but it is what it is. It costs roughly $7,500 to get licensed across the country. So I had money, of course, because of the fact that I had my tax and accounting practice, and I used those dollars and I bought all my licenses across the country. If you don't have the money to do that, then what I would suggest is every week, just buy one new license. By the end of the year, you're going to be licensed across the country. Every license on average costs about $150. Every week, just invest $150. Go to sircon.com, get that license. You'll be at 50 in no time. So why did I invest in getting licensed across the country? Well, number one, most agents aren't licensed across the country, which gave me a competitive advantage to grow faster than most agents. In fact, most agents won't even invest the $7,500. So I said to myself, wow, I have way less competition because I can now pretty much offer my insurance services to the entire country. The next thing was there's 6 million new people per state, which allows me to grow my book of business faster than most agents. So if you only have 1 or 2 states or 3, you're restricted to the people who are in that particular states. Well, if I'm across the country now, I got 6 million per state. That allows me to grow so much faster with no restriction. The third part was I looked at my licenses as an asset that produces cash flow. Think of it like real estate. Every time you get a license in an additional state, it's like buying a piece of property where people can live in that property and start paying you cash flow. Every state is 6 million people. So for me, I say to myself, well, okay, if I get 6 million new people, now that state is going to produce me a certain amount of cash flow every month, because now I got new leads that are now able to come in from that particular state. So I got PA, and then I decided to get Georgia, then I decided to get New York, and then I got Florida, and then I got Texas, California, and I went to all the major states first, and then I started to go into the Midwest, such as North Dakota, South Dakota, and those last. So I would do all of the major states first, the top 15 majors, and then the Midwest last. And it produces you cash flow because now you can accept leads from those states. So get licensed across the country. This is going to change your business, especially considering that we now live in a time where you can utilize the internet to reach people all over. You don't want to start building a brand online. Somebody from Florida contacts you, but you don't have a license in Florida. You can't service that business. Businesses need to be able to service a lot of people to make money. You are a business as an agent. So get licensed across the country is number one. Number two, I simplified my product line. Okay, so one of the things that I learned very early on was that it's extremely hard to manage 10 different carriers, right? Like it may sound cool that you're contracted with 10, 15, 20 carriers, but in actuality, how many of them are you really using? And when I looked at it, I only really used 2 carriers. I only used 2, but the other 10, I had to still learn those just in case I wanted to, and it was too much. And I got commissions coming in from all of these different carriers. I got to manage chargebacks and it's too much. So with that, I stopped using 99% of my insurance carriers and I simplified my product line. So what I did was I picked 2 carriers that could approve 99% of my clients. So I got one major carrier, let's just say as an example, Moo, right? Like Mutual Mama. So I would use Moo and they could approve, let's say 99% of clients when it comes to Term Life Express, IUL Express, Term Life Answers, all of those, right? And then I'll have a second backup carrier that basically approves the clients that can't go with Moo, which is that 5% where they may be outside of the body mass index. They may have certain sicknesses, and I know that there's a carrier there that can help them. So choose 2 carriers that can approve 99% of my clients. And then my goal was, I said I was going to master those 2 carriers, okay? So I want to understand the product, I want to understand underwriting, and I want to understand the comp structures for those 2 carriers. Imagine trying to figure that out for 15 different carriers. It's challenging. So now when you try to use that carrier, you don't know enough. And now, next thing you know, your business is now in the pipeline and is stuck in underwriting. Now that I've mastered 2 carriers, I understand everything about those carriers, and I'm able to make my business much more efficient. And the next part was, it's extremely challenging to master 10 different insurance carriers. I learned that very early on, and I said, okay, I only want to master 2, not 10. Here's the next part. It makes it harder to onboard your new agents due to the learning curve. So imagine, right? I'm recruiting a new agent, and now I got to teach them 15 different insurance carriers with underwriting products, and all of them have different comp structures. It's hard for a new agent when my goal is to get that new agent up and running within literally like 30 days. So if I teach them to master the 2 carriers and then everything else that my system offers, boom, they're up and running. They're able to start seeing success right away. And then I learned how to sell the heck out of these 2 carriers. I learned everything about their background, their history, their grading when it comes to the insurance industry, their payout history, everything. So now if obviously, you know, validation is important to the prospect with who we're actually getting actually selling the policy for, which carrier it is, I know everything about them. And then I don't restrict myself to only one type of product. This is important. Now, by the way, there's some IMOs that say, hey, I only sell term or I only sell permanent. That's great. But for me personally, I don't restrict myself to one type of product because number one, I come from an industry, like I said, of TD Bank and Wells Fargo. I was taught by a lot of financial advisors that it's better for me to run a needs analysis on a client and understand their needs and then offer them the solution based on their needs, not me only being able to sell one product. So now I'm pushing that product on the client only because I have the ability to only sell this, but nothing else, right? So in a sense, I didn't feel like I was really helping the client because of the fact that I'm only trying to sell the one thing that I have access to. And instead, I have access to everything. And now I'm doing what's best for the client and their needs, not what I think is best for them. Because that's ultimately what this is about, right? So simplify your product lines and master two carriers, and you're going to make your business so much more efficient. All right, that brings me to number 3, which is I learned telesales. Okay, so this is really important because the world is changing right around us. Okay, people are able to go online and they can literally apply for life insurance within 2 minutes by just doing a Google search. So from that, I said to myself, I got to move a lot faster, and I have to learn how to do this over the phone. I had to learn how to make this quick for the client so I can get them in and out so that they don't feel like their time is being wasted. So I needed to speed up my average time that it took for me to for me and my agents to be able to close deals. So I did the Google Meet thing and I did the Zoom thing. And I'm like, that's so much time. The in-home appointments and all that, I've never done that personally, but I know a lot of agents who did, and they would tell me it takes 2 hours of time. And I'm like, that's just extremely too much time. We got to make this faster. And if you master the phone, you're going to be able to do this faster. I mean, think about it. Geico, Progressive, Allstate, all of them do this over the phone. So if they can do it over the phone, then you can too. Don't allow anybody to tell you that that's not possible when literally every major insurance company that's over $1 billion does this over the phone. Okay. So that is a limiting mindset for somebody to tell you that it's not possible when literally we're spending money with companies that do it every single day. Okay. So learn how to master the phone. So I needed to speed up my average time it took me and my agents to be able to close. And I saved so much valuable time when I moved over to telesales and made sure that my agents moved to telesales too. The amount of applications that we were closing went up. The amount of time that it took us went down. We're able to talk to more clients in a day, have more appointments in a day, and that's why we were able to sell more policies than most agents. So there was so much less work for the same amount of money or more, right? And that's the goal, right? How do I do less work for more money, not more work for less money? And that's what you're doing when you're doing in-home appointments and still doing these old way of Google Meet, Zoom calls, and these other strategies that you're being taught, when literally you can do it a whole nother way that a lot of major companies are doing it. And I decided to adapt the same strategy. So I made 5x more than I currently was earning almost immediately when I switched over to telesales. And I've been working on my personalized sales script for over 3 years, which contains an expert opening, client pain points, question asking, and every objection I've heard from clients over the years, along with the exact responses to those objections, making my close rates high. So if you don't have a sales script and your sales script is not structured like this, where you have an expert opening, you know the pain points of the prospect, you know the type of questions that you need to ask, you know the objections that are already going to come, and you know the answers to those objections. If you don't have a sales script like that, I encourage you to get one if you're going to move to telesales, because it is a little bit different. But if you have the right type of preparation in place and the right script in place, you're in. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with a sales script. Every major actor and actress in the world uses a sales script, and they're A-list. So there doesn't make you're not any less smart because you're using a sales script. In fact, you're the smartest person in the room who uses the actual sales script, because you want to stay on track with what you're doing. Your close rates are going to go so much higher because of it. My close rates and my agents' close rates went up through the roof when we designed the sales script like this. And I gave them all the sales script that I've been working on for the past 3 years. And this sales script is responsible for $20,000 plus per month in commissions because of it. Now, number 4, I spent money on marketing, AKA leads and content. Now, this is a really big topic because I know you're probably taught, hey, don't buy leads. But I'll be honest with you. Every single major business in the world, such as Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, every company that you've ever spent money with, all of them spend money on marketing in order to acquire what? Leads. Leads are the lifeline of your business. Without a lead, you make no money, which is why you're chasing your warm market around, because you're afraid to buy leads because you were taught that it wasn't the right way. I'm going to teach you exactly what to look for if you're going to buy leads from a company. I'll show you what to look for, but you have to spend money on marketing. You're not a business if you don't spend money on marketing. Okay. And you're saying to yourself, I want to make 100K this year. I want to make 200K this year, but you're not spending $0 on marketing. How do you expect to do that? Not through your warm market, and definitely not through a referral system. It's too slow. Of every major business spends money on marketing. Okay. So your warm market will never be enough. And I realized that very early on. I said, I'm not harassing my friends and family, and I'm not trying to convince them to get insurance when there are literally millions of people in this world right now who are waiting to get insurance, or they need it and they're looking for you. So if these people that are looking for you, that are looking to buy insurance, why not focus on the people looking for you than the people who aren't looking for you, such as your friends and family that are only going to just insult you and discourage you from what you're doing? Leave that alone. There's a better way. Every company in the world pays for marketing. You should too. So here's the best part. Here's what I looked for when I was buying leads. Okay, here's what I look for. Number one, you want to make the company show you the exact ads that they are running. Make the company show you the exact ads that they are running. Okay, so there is a certain thing called a Facebook ad library, and I'll actually show you here right now what the actual the lead vendor should show you. I'm going to show you my ad library so you can see. All right, let me actually share my screen here and I'll show you. All right, so this is the Facebook ad library. This is what the actual lead vendor should show you. So if we go here and we go to all ads, you guys can actually search all of the ads that I run right now. So in this ad library, let's use an example of a life insurance ad that I'm currently running. This is the ad right here that says we're all going to die. Let me actually share one more time. Let me share my sound so you guys can hear it. All right, here we go. So let's use this ad as an example. This is what your ad, this is what the actual lead vendor should show you. If they're saying that they're producing leads, tell them to show you the exact ads that they're running to produce those leads. Why? Because they could be running ads that you are not comfortable with, or ads that you don't agree with, or an ad that you're like, hey, you guys are collecting people's information and they never said they were interested in insurance because your ad never talked about insurance. Well, guess what? You would have known that prior to spending any money with that lead vendor, because they need to prove to you that they've done it. Here it is.
We're all going to die. And I'm sorry to be so harsh, but you can't possibly provide a legacy for your children without embracing the fact that it's coming and doing something about it. But yet 50% of Americans don't have insurance, especially in our culture. These three things are the main objections. Number one, you think that you have more than enough time. Number two, you think it's too expensive and not worth the money. And number three,
all right, I'll stop it there. Let's just go to another one real quick. This is my mortgage protection ad. Here it is.
If you have a mortgage of $100,000 or more, you should take 60 seconds to watch this video, or you could lose your home. As a homeowner, one of your biggest fears should be passing away and losing your home because your family can't afford to pay the bank note without your salary. And unfortunately, this is something that happens all the time. But there's a secret tool that can help you. I'm a licensed insurance agent, and at my agency, we have a policy that we like to call Property Protection Plan. Let's break down how that works. Most mortgages are 30.
So as you can see, like, these are the ads that you want to see. If they don't show this to you, then that's a red flag. Walk away immediately, because if they're saying that they don't want to show you their ads because of proprietary reasons and all these things, that means that they're not running the ads that you would be that you agree with, and it's ultimately going to turn into bad phone numbers, fake people, and lists that are not real. So be very careful of that. And let me go ahead and share my screen back again here. Be very, very careful there. So here's my screen shared back. All right, so make the company show you the exact ads that they're running. That's number one. Number two, make the company show you the exact process of how they're acquiring the lead. So as an example, I just showed you guys the ad, right? Now that you've seen the ad, what you want to do is say, hey, walk me through the landing page that they see when they're giving the information, right? Like on that landing page, does it still say that they're getting life insurance? Or is it some, hey, give us your information for this free gift? And now they're collecting people's information when they never said that they were interested in a quote. You want to be sure that on the landing page, it says there, hey, if the person is giving their information, they're specifically saying that they're interested in a quote. And if they're not, if it's not saying that, then be very careful. Number three, make the company give you a refund guarantee on your first purchase to test out the actual leads. So if the company is saying that they're confident, especially in a marketplace like this, where you're getting all of these ads from all these different lead vendors saying that they can do this, this, and this, make them give you a refund guarantee. And if they can't give you a refund guarantee, then that's all that you need to know, because they don't stand behind their product. Number four, I personally would not buy from the company if the founder was not an agent. The reason why is because of the fact that how can somebody come into this industry and say that they could produce life insurance leads and that they could create advertisements like the ones that I just showed you if literally they're not an agent, they don't know nothing about this industry. Not only do they not understand you, they don't understand what you're looking for, but if they're not an agent, that also means they've never worked these leads on themselves. All of the leads that I have being produced, I've worked all of these myself. I know exactly what they're saying, and it's why I'm able to design sales scripts around that. If the founder of the company is not an agent, then there's nothing that they can do to get you to connect with you to understand what you're looking for or be in your shoes. Those are my 4 non-negotiables. If those 4 don't exist, I don't buy, and you should too. So the next part to that is so again. Marketing is important. Make sure that you're spending money on your marketing. This is key. This is going to change the game for you right away. All right. Buy leads, buy leads, buy leads. I'm a really big believer of it. You need it. You're a company. Okay. Companies need to spend money on marketing. And the next part to that is, so you could indeed create organic leads through social media, right? And this comes with just creating videos online similar to the ones that I just showed you earlier and posting them to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, right? You could go ahead and take the organic route, which is cool, but let me break down to you what organic is coming from somebody who has built a major organic brand. And just so you guys can see, I'm going to show you this here. This is my social media profile. I have 825,000 followers on Instagram. So you're talking to somebody who has built a massive organic brand. I've created content every single day for the past 5 years, okay? So I know the amount of time that's associated with building an organic brand. Now, by the way, I've been able to produce over 50,000 life insurance leads from my organic brand without having to spend a single dollar. But I want to share with you, though, what the actual time that's associated with being able to do this here. And let me show you. So with that, if you wanted to be able to build organic, you can. All you need is an iPhone and a ring light. Okay, that's all that I use, right? An iPhone and a ring light, and I could go ahead and start creating content talking about life insurance. I post these videos to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and I did this once a day for 5 years, and I built a huge brand. I now have over 3 million followers across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But here's the thing, organic content can take me upwards of 2 hours per day. Now, this is the part that you need to understand though, right? So as an example, if I make $1,000 per policy, so as an example, I get on the line with the prospect, and every time I do, I make $1,000 off of that policy. Well, that means I make $1,000 an hour. So if I had to look at my opportunity cost of making organic content versus literally just paying for leads, that means that if it's taking me 2 hours per day, if I multiply that by 5 days in a week, that means I'm spending 10 hours a week on content. Well, if I earn $1,000 an hour, that means that I'm technically spending $10,000 a week creating all of my own content. That's a lot of money, $40,000 a month. So I want you to think about that for a second, right? That's how much it's going to cost you in order to create organic content, as opposed to you literally just paying somebody to just do it for you, right? And that's what I had to realize. How much can I pay to get this off of my plate so I don't have to worry about it anymore? So because I've spent 5 years developing content, my agency actually now produces over 10,000 leads per month And we do this for over 850 agents across the country who are associated with a bunch of different IMOs. So we have agents from Primerica, PHP, WFG, FFL who come to us now and say, hey, Don, I would love to be able to use your agency, your company, and can you guys provide us with leads? So now these agents use my exact leads and system to grow their insurance business faster than ever before, saving them time to keep closing so that they don't have to worry about creating all of the content and doing it the way that I did, right? I spent 5 years building this, and now that I did, you can actually leverage my platform now so I can provide you with the leads from the trust and the content that I've already built over the course of 5-6 years. Or you could do it yourself. And like I said, it's going to take you 10 hours a week, $10,000 in opportunity costs a week, over $500,000 a year. So save yourself that time and don't do it. But number 4, I spent a lot of money on leads and I spent a lot of money on building my brand, and it's helped me a lot. And you need to do the same, right? Don't be afraid to spend your money. Money is just a tool, and every dollar that you spend, if you can make a return on that investment, that's great. So for every dollar, if I can make 4 times that dollar, AKA $4 per dollar, then if I do that multiple times over, I'm winning. And now that brings me to number 5. I automated my insurance business. This is key now, because now that you're going to be buying leads and you got a ton of leads coming in, I automated my insurance business. So every agent needs a follow-up software, okay? Every single agent needs a follow-up software. This is really important because as you're producing more leads, you're not going to be able to keep up with all these people. And that's the same thing that happened with me, okay? So as an example, let's just switch over here. Like, as an example, I currently have 270 leads that are in my pipeline that just came in literally like today, 270. And then 41 people that are interested in talking right now. Okay. Like, that's a ton. So with that now I can't do all of that on my own. So instead, what I normally do is now inside of follow-up software that I just showed you guys, and this right here is the follow-up software that I'm talking about. I actually built this. It's called Internet Agent. A new lead just came in. It just moved to 271. So with that now, I built a workflow that basically has 90 days of follow-up texts and emails to leads, which will save me hours of time, right? So what happens is as soon as the actual lead comes in, it sends them a text message right away so that it can already start the conversation. I'm going to share with you guys what that looks like here, right? Because how do I save myself time so I don't have to worry about doing this? So let's use an example here. Share my screen back up. So here's an example, right? New lead comes in, and then as soon as it does, this lead came in at 12:06. It's currently 12:17. So the lead comes in. Hey, Glenda, this is Prince Donnell with Jack Life Insurance. Thank you for taking the time to get you and your family protected. Our team should be giving you a call soon from a 267 area code to help you establish generational wealth and get your family financially protected. Reply Y if you have 15 minutes to talk to someone about pricing and getting protected right now, right? Talk to you soon. Now it sends them that text message, and I didn't even have to, that wasn't me. It was automated as soon as the lead came in, okay? So I built a workflow that now goes out 90 days. So if the client doesn't respond, and by the way, this prospect responded Y, which means that once they respond Y, now somebody from my team is going to call them right away because they're ready to talk to somebody right now for 15 minutes, okay? So anybody that replies Y, I get straight to them immediately, and whoever doesn't respond, they now go into my 90-day workflow so that I can keep texting them until they finally respond. Okay, this replaces dial days so that I have the ability to become more productive. It also allowed me to work through my book of business with a lot of speed. Okay. And the craziest part is that this is the coolest part. I built an AI appointment setter into my follow-up software to automatically book appointments on my calendar for the leads who respond to my follow-up text. So let's give an example is that I'm currently out with my family right now, and we're going shopping. We're doing these things. A new lead comes in. Once the lead comes in, it sends them that text message that you just saw. They reply Y that they're interested. Now I have a robot that's built into my follow-up software that says, hey, you know what? let's go ahead and book you an appointment. I have Monday or Tuesday available. Which one is good for you? Client says Tuesday. My system automatically responds back and says, I have Tuesday at 12 o'clock p.m. available. Is that good for you? The client responds, yes. It automatically books it on my calendar for Tuesday. So as soon as I come into work on Tuesday, I have an appointment that I have set with a client that I've never spoken to, but my follow-up software did everything for me. That's how you scale. That's how you're able to close more policies, because I'm not doing the work anymore. Okay. So assuming I was busy, the system still booked new business for me, no manual labor. And then I'm even adding a dialing system and a case management spreadsheet into my software so I can work through my list even faster and keep everything organized. So now I can see all my cases in one place, and I can also dial out from my system fast, right? Either an auto dialer, different things of that nature that you could use to be able to run through your list. Because when you got a list of over 1,000 people, you can't call all 1,000 people manually. You got to have auto systems in place to be able to do that. And I'm actually building that into my follow-up software. So I've helped set up this same system for over 850 agents, many who work full-time jobs, right? And they come to me and say, hey, Don, like, how do I, like, I'm working full-time. How can I still scale my insurance business? And I set up the same system for them with their follow-up software, build it in and say, hey, now this is set up. I now have people who are like contacting me like, Don, I was at work. And literally I was at work and somebody booked an appointment and the system did everything for me. And now as soon as I got off work, I was able to get in contact with the client and move from there. Like, that's the goal, right? How do I do that? And I set it up in that manner. And now we have agents over 850 who work full time. And I've created a way for them to be able to still connect with their prospects while they're at work. So those are the 5. And let me just go back up real quick to show you. Number 1, right? I got licensed across the country. Number 2, I simplified my product line. Number 3, I learned telesales. Number 4, I spent money on marketing. This is a non-negotiable. You have to buy leads and you have to produce leads as fast as humanly possible. That's the only way that you win in this industry. And number 5 is that I automated my insurance business using my follow-up software that I just showed you guys. And on top of that, this is important. I showed you guys exactly what to look for when buying leads. And if they can't show you this, it's a red flag. It's a no-go. With that being said, in conclusion, you don't have to be talented, right? You don't got to be talented to win in this industry. You don't got to be talented to make $20,000 as a life insurance agent. You simply have to just work smarter, okay? This is your license. This is your business. This is not your upline's business. This is not your upline's license. This is your license, okay? Your upline will probably tell you not to do it this way because they either lack the knowledge of how to run a business or they do it the old school way. And that's okay. So cut them some slack, but most likely they're going to say no. But ultimately, here's the thing. Even if they were to say no, this is your business and you need to do what's best for you. And if your upline is not showing you another way to do it outside of what I just explained to you here today, then that tells you all you need to know, right? You need to take things to your own hands. If somebody tells you no, not to do it a certain way, then they should give you a solution on a better way to do it. Not a slower way, not an older way. They need to show you a better way. And if they can't do that, then I think that you need to start focusing on what you have ownership of and what you need to take accountability for, which is your business. You have to take responsibility for your knowledge and your growth. Only you, nobody else. Nobody's going to sit around babying you and calling you on the line, right? This is a business. You got your license and you came into a business and you need to own that, okay? So that's what I want you to take away from this here. And again, I'm an agent. So you're talking to somebody who has done this already. And I just gave you my exact plan on how I was able to do this. So if this information was valuable, here's the thing. I can do all of the setup for you, okay? If you found this information valuable, you're like, Don, this was a system I haven't heard. I like this a lot. Can you really welcome me to be able to do this? I can do all of the setup for you. So number 1, I can deliver you with the exact leads I produce every single month from my agency. So instead of you creating all of your own content, I'll actually deliver the leads to you that I'm producing myself, similar to what I just showed you right in here, where the leads come in daily, every single day on an hourly basis with people who are interested right now. Leads, like I literally could just deliver those leads right to you, however many you need. Okay. Number 2, I can train you on telesales and provide a sales script so you can begin closing deals on the phone from now on. We have sales trainings almost every day inside of our community. Okay. And by the way, you don't have to leave your IMO. You can stay with the IMO that you're with. But we have sales trainings every day inside of our community. Number 3, I can set up your automated follow-up software with all of the text messages plugged in so you can begin using it right away. You can actually put all of your old and the new leads that I'm going to be delivering you. You can put all of them inside of the follow-up software that I'm going to set up for you. And we're going to be connecting the AI appointment setter that I've built. We're going to be connecting that inside of your follow-up software as well. So you have that too. So everything is set up in the exact way that I'm running my agency. The next part, number 4, you'll be enrolled inside of my private group chat of over 850 agents who are using my exact system and all of the leads and everything that I'm doing. They're all inside of one community. Some of these agents who come into this community are brand new. Others who have been with me for over 3 to 6 months now are earning 5 and 6 figures per month, utilizing my system, my leads, and everything that I'm teaching you here today, okay? So it doesn't matter what level that you're on, you still have the ability to come into the system, and I'll be able to help tweak that for you so you can start earning money right away. And last but not least, you can remain with the IMO or agency that you're currently working with. And we're basically your behind the scenes business, education, and marketing partner to help you grow your insurance business faster. So it doesn't matter which IMO that you're with. I can plug my system into any IMO and really take you to the next level. Now, we do have an application process, and yes, it does cost money. Here's the thing. I simply cannot work with everybody, and my company, as a startup, we can't work with thousands of agents. So we do have an application process, and we want to make sure that you fit the description prior to us being able to help you. So you are going to have to click the learn more button below to fill out an application, and we get back to you right away. And we'll actually let you know if you're approved right after you fill out the application. We have an instant application approval process to know if you're approved right away. And yes, it does cost money, okay? It's a minimum of a $1,600 setup. So you need to have at least $1,600 in order for me and my team to even like do this for you. $1,600 minimum, okay? As long as you have that, or if you don't have $1,600 minimum, we offer in-house payment plans for those who can't afford to pay the setup costs in full, as long as we approve your application. Now, our payment plans start at a minimum of $500. So it's only 2 things you're going to need. You're either going to need to pay $500 per week on a payment plan until everything is paid off, or you would just pay the $1,600 minimum up front in order to do this. If you don't have either or, then I would just encourage you to work a little harder and earn some money before you come back to us so we can help you. But that is a non-negotiable that's there in order for you to move forward with us on the application. Now, with that being said, if all of this made sense for you, what I want you to do is click learn more right underneath this video. It's like right here, learn more. And then if you're interested, and you'll be able to book a call with one of my coaches. These are my trained agents and coaches who work directly with me. They work in-house in my office, and they'll discuss all of the details, and they'll discuss enrollment. So they'll go through the process with you every step of the way, show you exactly what you're getting, because I just showed you a piece, but they're going to show you everything that you're getting and walk you through the details of the enrollment so that you can move forward and we can get this system up and running for you literally within 48 to 72 hours. Okay. With that being said, at the end of the day, right, you came into this industry because you want to be able to help a lot of families. You want to be able to become financially free, but you're not going to be able to do that through procrastinating of when it's time for you to run your business, when it's not, taking days off, doing this part-time, and then not investing any money and expecting to have high returns, buying $5 leads, $8 leads, and $10 leads, and expecting for those $10 leads to turn into $1,000. That's just not going to happen. I've gone through all of those stages. I can tell you that there's a lot of lead vendors in this marketplace who know nothing about this industry. They're only literally trying to sell you something. I've been a part of groups. I've been a part of life insurance groups, even on Facebook, on Instagram, and all these other platforms who claim that they want to help you. And the fact of the matter is they don't, right? And ultimately, I want to give you all of the knowledge and information. This is why I literally gave you my exact game plan up front, because the fact of the matter is we're all agents, and the goal is for us to be able to help each other be able to win. And that's the culture that I've built inside of my community. I give everything. All I ask in return is that, hey, for the services that I'm going to be providing you, that of course we're paid for those services, but the knowledge and the education can't stop. You are responsible for your business. You are your own upline. You are the license holder. And the fact is, you have to take action, not waiting for permission from your upline or whomever your mentor is to help you. It's time for you to take action right away and over 850 agents have done this as well. And I want to be able to help you too. So go ahead and click learn more below, and we'll definitely be able to take care of you, especially if you're interested in really taking your insurance practice to the next level. Looking forward to talking to you online. Peace.